To truly scale your business, you must position yourself away from the person that's doing all of the work and the one who's actually getting all of the work. It's called the owner's trap, and we see owners in many different contracting businesses, owner-operators in the land management side of things, get absolutely stuck and put themselves in a position where they can't actually scale their business. Now, there's a golden rule when it comes to basically any owner is trying to scale any business, really, is you have to put sales first and you have to get really, really good at sales, so that way you're never wondering when your next deal is going to come through, how you're going to get your next deal, because you're confident in your selling abilities and ability to keep work stacked on the calendar. So basically the process that we're going to be talking about today is a couple of different some mindset shifts, some systems to kind of put in place, things that we've seen work across multiple different industries that allow those owner-operators to actually get out of the day-to-day and focus on the highest ROI things that are actually going to put your business forward, provide real long-term value, and bring long-term sustainable growth to your business. So my name is Brady Carlson. I'm one of the co-owners of Dirt to Dollars, and we scale land management businesses and contracting businesses. So basically everything that we share on this channel is all things scaling blue-collar businesses and systems that we see work, strategies that we see work to scale these businesses, and things that work over the long term as well, so that way you can set yourself up for success. And in this video, we're going to be obviously talking about the owner's trap. And obviously everybody knows how easy it is to get stuck in the day-to-day stuff, and you can really find yourself in a cycle of doing things that really aren't even that profitable or definitely not that scalable for your business. We want you to be in a position, obviously you want to be in a position where you can step away from your business for a whole week and go on vacation with your family or go on a fishing trip with the boys, whatever it is, and really step away, but nothing within your business breaks. It's still making money and everything is still thriving and scaling itself. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing is really like a mindset shift. You actually really have to teach yourself, and it might sound silly or kind of, cheesy or whatever, but you actually really got to tell yourself that it's okay to let go from certain things and actually be willing to pay for good help and make investments in good talent, trustworthy talent within your business, that even though it might make you squirm a little bit at the thought of how big the paycheck is that you got to send out every single month, but it keeps you in a position where you don't have to worry about all the projects that you have going on. And obviously before even doing this, you got to be in a position where you've perfected the service. You've closed enough deals, you've been on enough projects yourself to where you've perfected the service and you can do what you're selling like the back of your hand and be able to, not just teach somebody else, because you don't want to teach somebody else from scratch because that's a huge time waster. Just being comfortable with paying somebody who's trustworthy to come in, start doing the work in-house for you, building a crew, whether it's starting with like a foreman, a good operator, something that allows you to get off the job site, and while that job is being completed, you're able to actually focus on talking to more qualified buyers, people who want to buy your services, and closing more deals, collecting more cash for the business. And that's where you're going to actually start to see scalability. But the mindset shift comes from, because I see this happen with so many guys, and I'm like myself as a business owner, like I've struggled with this too in the past. It's really just letting go of certain things and being okay with delegating certain tasks. Sales, just so you know, should be the last thing that you want to outsource. Like you should be doing that until you absolutely can't anymore or don't have to. But the operations, the internal operations, fulfillment, that stuff can start getting outsourced, right? And your systems can be put into place for the people, the good talent that you hire and bring in-house, just so it allows you to step away and focus on handling all of the leads that are coming into the business from the acquisition sources that we talk about building on this channel, and just keeping your pipeline full and just not lining up job after job after job after job and focusing on the sales at the end of the day. That's where the true scalability is going to come from. But it is an uncomfortable thing. It is an uncomfortable thing, and delegation is an uncomfortable thing as well. But I'm telling you, you're going to have to bite the bullet and do it. It's just everybody goes through it. Otherwise, you will get to a certain level and you will plateau there. There's like with 90, I can say that with 99.9% certainty that will happen if you do not delegate and you don't delegate appropriately. It'll keep you stuck in the business. And when you do try and leave, you do try and go out of town on vacation or something, everything falls apart. while you're gone. Everything falls apart while you're gone. Deals fall through. Jobs don't get done. People find other people or other contractors to do their jobs for them, and it's just a complete disaster. So it's obviously a position you do not want to find yourself in. So the ROI of trust and the ROI of actually having good employees, and again, people that you might have to pay top dollar for, or maybe a dollar amount that you're not very comfortable with and it's tough for you to wrap your mind around it, those people should be paying for themselves like 4 times over, 5 times over, 6 times over by allowing you to focus on pushing more cash into the business by closing more deals. So super, super important, and something that I think you should have a conversation with yourself about it at the very least, because it is a big thing when it comes to actually scaling and avoiding being stuck or plateauing for long periods of time. So there's going to be a certain stage in your business where these 3 like quick little systems that I'm going to just go over here, and I've probably already made videos about these in the past. If I haven't, like each one of these deserves like their own full-length video here for you guys to consume. But the first system that you really need to have in place to, again, like even attempt getting yourself out of the day-to-day and keeping yourself in like a true position of like, this guy's like the CEO, like he's not on like every single project with me. He's closing deals, like he comes, he stops by, he checks in on the guys, whatever. But it actually puts you in a position where you can actually be scalable yourself. It starts with having a predictable inbound acquisition system, right? It starts with having a predictable system that delivers new leads into your business on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, right? So you're never guessing when leads are going to come in. You're never guessing on where the next job's going to come from. You have multiple different acquisition sources built out within your business that are keeping you busy doing sales and keeping jobs stacked up on the calendar, right? So from Meta, Facebook, and Instagram, running profitable campaigns on that platform is huge. Having a good website presence is going to be huge as well to capture a lot of overflow traffic from your Facebook campaigns, TikTok campaigns, YouTube campaigns, whatever it is. Google ads is going to be huge as well to buy your way to the top spot. And then obviously doing organic SEO to get yourself to the over the long term to those top ranking spots on Google, so people are always finding you. But having a solid inbound acquisition system, none of this will be possible. You're not going to be able to step away by simply just relying on word of mouth and referrals, or at least it's going to be incredibly, incredibly hard to do so and be able to maintain that for years, right? You need that predictable inbound acquisition system. If your business is in a spot where you're aggressively looking to grow and aggressively take on more work and really take things to the next level, you might be a good fit to work with us and we might be able to help you out. So basically what we do over at Dirt to Dollars is we build all of the acquisition systems that we talk about on this channel. We do Meta ads, we do Google ads, TikTok ads, YouTube ads, website design and creation, SEO, AI SEO, you name it, anything digital marketing related, we do it. Even from running hiring campaigns as well, which is something we're talking about in this video too. We can run hiring campaigns for you, help you get ready to staff when the time comes, and keep your pipeline full with qualified talent that's a good fit to work with your business. So you can just go down the list, take your interviews, and basically hire when you need to. But that's a big thing what we do as well. We book on-site appointments for all of our clients. So along with getting like a full-blown marketing team, you get a full-blown sales team as well, multiple CSMs, full access to my co-owner and myself in a centralized communication channel. So we're at your fingertips 24/7, and we'll help you scale along with building out all of these systems. So if you want to find out if your business is a good fit to work with us, I dropped a link in the description of this video. So go ahead, you can book a call with our team. We'll see if it makes sense, see if we can help you out or not. If we think we can, we'll move you along in the process, and we'll talk to you soon. But on with the rest of the video. Second system you need to have in place is an efficient project management system. So just a system that is obvious, that can be put in place, and it's rinse and repeat. Every job that comes through, your whole team, the entire crew is on the exact same page. Everybody knows what's going on. Hey, we have this job coming in, rinse and repeat. I shouldn't even have to tell you guys what to do. Here's the standard operating procedure. Go and get it done. Rinse and repeat. You need a system that's going to be in place that keeps your guys from guessing and keeps your crews from guessing, and they just know it. It's simple, it's quick to understand, it sticks with them, and they're able to just hit the ground running where, you're basically able to just be like, yeah, this place, this time, this date, this is when we're starting, get out here, this is what we're doing, get it done, right? And it shouldn't require, that much of your time, other than obviously, a pre-project meeting with the team for larger ones, but everybody should know exactly what's going on, and it should be SOP'd. It should be almost like on like a document, right? And format that they're easily able to like receive it and understand what's going on for any project that you might be selling. Obviously, if it's roofing, plumbing, HVAC, pool installation, land clearing, forestry mulching, it could be like any of those things. You can SOP like all of that stuff. So at least all of the easy stuff, all of the simple to understand stuff, your guys can be like know it like the back of their hand. So you're not having to tell them like, hey, like don't do this or don't do that for like little stuff or stupid stuff that's just going to eat up like a ton of your time and keep you from doing the highest ROI activities, in which obviously you don't want to be there. You need to be doing revenue driven actions on a daily basis to keep scaling the business and get yourself out of the day to day and become obviously a true business owner when you're in that position of like, hey, the CEO's like he's out of town, or like the owner's out of town with his family for 2 weeks on vacation or something, and nothing breaks within the business. Super important that those systems are in place as well. System 3, the third little system here that I think is super important to have, especially within an actively scaling business and an aggressively scaling business, is a bulletproof hiring system, right? As you grow, you're going to need more people, more crews. You're going to need to build out more crews quickly, efficiently. You're not going to want to waste a lot of time hiring, doing interviews. Obviously, if you're doing interviews with like qualified people, like that's obviously one thing, but you don't want to be speaking with, a bunch of duds, people that aren't a good fit, complete DQs, would not be a good fit working for you at all. You need those systems to be like dialed in. So we talk a lot about having like a full pipeline full of leads and like ready to buy customers, people that you can always be interacting with and getting to meet with them on site and closing deals. You almost got to have the exact same thing in place when it comes to hiring. You need to have like hiring funnels and hiring systems in place too to just keep people ready to go. So like when you need like, okay, I need another operator, like you can just go down like a list of people, like boom, 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 like a bunch of, make a bunch of phone calls, see all their applications, pull them up right in front of you, bang, 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 rip down the list, talk to the most qualified ones, and then boom, hire them. It's over, right? No, like minimum friction. We do that a lot for our clients. We run a lot of hiring campaigns for them, and in the background, like keep qualified hires kind of like on the back burner, ready to go, because obviously the people that we work with are looking to scale aggressively, so that's something that they need to have in their back pocket. So when they do get to that point where they've been booked out for, they're maintaining like a 6 to 8 week backlog for like 3 months at a time. It's like, okay, like let's bring on somebody else and like trim the backlog down by 2 weeks, right? And then like just add more work on top of that, allow you to be a much, more efficient business and allow you to scale a lot quicker as well when you have those hiring systems in place. So everybody always asks like, who should the first hire be? And honestly, like people are wondering like, oh, do I bring in like a marketing person? Do I bring in an operator? Do I bring in like a front desk, like a secretary or something? Or like, do I hire like a, like an accountant or something like that or whatever? But people tend to get lost on like who it is to actually hire first, like within the business, and like do what you can to keep it sales oriented without having to bring on a rep, if you don't necessarily need it, because at the end of the day, you, the business owner, should be doing sales for as long as you can until it's no longer the highest revenue driven action for you. So honestly, I would say the most important hire is going to be bringing somebody in that can build the acquisition system for you, right? And now I'm not just saying this to like plug myself because that's what we do. I'm saying that because it's important to like have the systems in place to keep generating the business. Like you're never gonna run into problems where you need to hire somebody or you need to bring on more equipment and you need to make like all these different decisions like within the business, or you need to perfect like service delivery or something. You're never gonna be able to do any of those things if you don't have any jobs. So if you don't have any jobs, obviously you're going to be in a pretty tough spot. And I talk to people all the time that they'll go through like down weeks where they'll have like 1 week of they're working, the next week they're dead, or sometimes it's even worse. Like they'll go like 2 months with work and then they'll go 6 months without work because they're just waiting on the phone to ring and for people to stumble across and find them. So having somebody to build that acquisition system for your business and keeping leads coming in, new fresh opportunities daily, weekly, monthly, so you don't have to guess. All you got to do is just speak to qualified buyers and close deals. That's what you need in the business first. Now, The second most important hire, like we work with a lot of land management, a lot of earthwork businesses, and a ton of different other contractors as well. But what we see mainly, like we'll use like the land management for example, right? Say you're like clearing land or something, right? And you're the one closing the deals, and you're the one out there on every job, like clearing the land as well. That next hire, after you have somebody that's built the acquisition systems for you, delivering all the opportunities into the business, driving new revenue in, is going to be an operator, right? Like in that situation there specifically, to cut down and like create like more efficiency on those projects to get those jobs done faster. So then you can get to another one quicker, right? And then you can get to another one quicker, right? Or even allow you to be like, okay, we have 2 jobs going on at the same time. Put this operator here, and like I'll go do this one or something while this guy I just hired is over here working on this job, right? Super, super important. But obviously having like a solid inbound flow of people that are ready to buy and people that you can sell to is going to be the most important thing by far, right? And then bringing in the operators, then bringing in the day-to-day guys that are going to handle fulfillment, actually doing the work, bringing those guys in-house will be important as well and allow you to start stepping back, buying back your time, and then closing more deals. So another question I get asked a lot too is like, how do I actually measure like the success of this, and how do I actually measure if the things that I'm doing are actually working and allowing me to get to that spot where I'm out of the day-to-day and I'm not in that owner trap? Well, I mean, it kind of comes down to a couple of different things, and honestly, like the biggest metric that I would say when it comes to this, and again, like coming from a business owner, is like you can step away from your business for an extended period of time and nothing breaks. And nothing breaks, nothing backtracks, nothing slows down, nothing stops getting done. Everything just remains the same as if you were there. If you're able to do that and you get yourself to a point where you're able to just step out and, like I mentioned earlier, go on vacation for 2 weeks with your family or a week or whatever, a month, and you can do that and nothing breaks within the business continues to scale, cash flow continues coming into the business, that's going to be when you know like you're onto something and like you've got like a good system in place. Like there's something in there that's bulletproof, that's working really, really well. So that's like probably the biggest metric. And another metric too is when you find yourself, this one I guess is more of like a calendar metric really, where you find your day-to-day being more sales and just more sales meetings, like more on-site appointments that you're having with new qualified buyers, people that are interested and ready to buy. You're having more of those meetings and you're having more of those sales conversations on a day-to-day basis. Instead of like, if your schedule now is, 40 hours a week, like you're on jobs, right? Like that's what you're doing. Like you have 40 hours worth of jobs every single week. And then you find yourself in a position where you still have like a full-time load of work every single week, but your time spent on those jobs is reduced to 20 hours, 10 hours a week, 5 hours a week, right? And the remainder of your time throughout the week, and obviously, we're business owners here, we don't work 40 hours a week, we work the 100 plus, like, I get it. The majority of your time is going to new sales and pushing new sales in the business. That's a great indicator as well. And you're honestly going to see that one before you're able to step out and completely just step away from the business and not have anything break. But when you're week to week doing more sales-driven activities and you're doing real revenue-driven activities instead of having to be on every job, like in a piece of equipment or on a roof or installing things on yourself, like by yourself on your own, that's when things are starting to work and trend in the right direction. It might feel like a slow process, like in the moment too. So this is why you really got to like stay consistent with all of these things that we've spoken about, because it's not going to happen quickly, and you might not even notice it happening at first too. You'll just be like one day like, oh, like I'm not having to do X, Y, and Z anymore. I'm like doing sales like all day, right? Which obviously that's where you want to be. It's a good leading indicator. So to kind of wrap things up here, escaping the owner's trap is really like, it's more a mindset shift. It really is more a mindset shift at the end of the day. And it is, there is like a lot of technical stuff and hands-on stuff involved in that also, with building out acquisition systems, hiring systems, having your projects like completely SOP'd, so you don't really have to, it's rinse and repeat every job that you have coming in, making key hires and doing these things really in the right order. But it does really start with a mindset shift, right? And just being able to like delegate and being able to like really let go and put faith in people. I mean, that's where like the difference is going to be made. I mean, it is scary, like I get it, but That's where you're going to see like tremendous growth when you get yourself into a position where you can do that. So yeah, to wrap this up, this was more of a mindset shift video more than anything, but it's important. I talk to a lot of guys and even a lot of our clients in these conversations that I have. It helps a lot of guys out. So I'm happy to share it all here on the YouTube. And if you liked what you saw here, you can hit the thumbs up button down below, hit that subscribe button, and hit the little bell icon too, so you can get alerted when I release more of these videos. But yeah, that's it for this one.